I forgot what number Phil is. I think Phil's number 2.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Phil's number 2.
Okay.
I was like, wait, I've done. Let me reword this. I have done the show with Phil before. I was gonna say I've done Phil before, but that's different.
Who are you?
Totally
and what
different.
have you done with Jay?
Oh, this is the same Jay, just Jay on a Friday. You thought cars were built bad on a Friday. Anyway, this is my first time doing the show with you. So I didn't know which one
makes it different.
I always had to mute Phil. I never had to mute you. I had to mute Phil all the time. So
I do it myself.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? JayzTwoCents here with Nick, of course.
Hi.
Phil's off doing like wedding crap with a friend. I think it was just an excuse. I think his friend just wanted to get drunk, and they were like, "Let's just tell Jay that I'm getting married, and then he'll let you off." But I would have let him off anyway.
It worked. Yeah, it worked when I went with.
In fact, I would have a lot. I probably have a lot more empathy if he was like, "I just want to go get drunk." Like, okay, go.
Oh, we can do that?
You're about to do that. We're all about to have some much needed PTO. We got kind of like a game-studded show for you, if you will. So technically last night, and we're not going to talk about Starfield because I only started messing around with it, and then I haven't been messing around with it for the sake of like playing the game. First and foremost, I was curious about performance.
Oh, I was going to ask, how long did it take for you to get through character creation?
Well, there's always that dilemma of any game that has a character creation, right?
Like,
should it make it look like me?
But how detailed? Like, how in depth does it go? Like, is it
it goes really detailed.
like Cyberpunk levels, or?
Yeah, it's the first game I've seen where it will allow you to blend different presets together. So if you say like, oh, I like nose number 7 and nose number 11, you can actually blend them together.
Oh.
And then you can make adjustments within the blend.
All right.
That's the problem. The more customization you're given,
The longer, yeah.
Like by the time I was done with the characterization, I forgot. Oh yeah, we were mid conversation, and then I had to like respond to her. I was like, I forgot what we were talking about.
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
No, I'm talking about in the game.
Oh, yeah, because
If you forgot what we were talking about right now, you're already in trouble.
I already know what we're talking about, and thankfully there's notes.
Yeah, I was just curious about Starfield's performance because I had seen some of the initial like Digital Foundry stuff where it seemed like it was a pretty harsh performer, but then again, I was playing it on a 1300K with a 4090. I'm like, seems good to me. So you know, but no, I think it's a game that I don't think it has a built-in benchmark. I wish it did, but I might just start including that in some of our benchmark runs.
Like maybe like a quick save point or something, and run a certain section.
Or maybe just actually finally script movement. That way we can have it be completely A/B perfect, if that makes sense. Because the problem about anything that's like free control by a user using keyboard and mouse is any variance and where you go and how you turn and where you look can affect the performance in some way. Because you already know, like in Cyberpunk, you look at the ground, you look at the sky, the FPS goes way up.
Yeah, but we're also encountering that in GTA 5, right?
Anything with a big world.
Yeah.
I don't know how big the world is, quote unquote, in Starfield, because Starfield is a one-player game, but I don't know how like far out the world renders, to be honest.
Gotcha.
I just started messing around with it. Anyway, also too, we're going to be doing a pre-sale for our next shirt design. I don't normally do pre-sales, but because we've been selling out of popular sizes, and I think this next shirt design is going to be really popular. You guys can see it on Twitter, or you can see it in the community tab on YouTube. For the channel, it's a pretty sick design. Basically, it's a 12-volt high power connector plug melting into my logo. So, anyway, there's that. But since Phil's not here, I guess I'm gonna let Nick take it away. That's odd. Hey, look,
geez.
it's 2:04. We're a minute early. We're supposed to be there at 2:05 or whatever it is.
Well, news topics. So this is.
No, I put the news topic in because it kind of leads into some of what we're talking about already.
Yeah, it does.
I just found it to be interesting news that I thought would lead into some fun discussion.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, as far as technology today, this hit me last night, and I just didn't write it in until this morning. But I was thinking, like, was there a golden era or people tech or golden era of tech that people
tech?
Yeah. Well, I call it people tech versus like car tech because that's my comparison. I felt like early 2000s was like peak car because it was just all the analog stuff without like a lot of the electrical safeties.
I think what you're describing when you were talking about this earlier is the technological advancements of computers have helped create a more reliable, more powerful vehicle, but those had not incurred into the compartment space of the vehicle over like complicating the user experience in the car.
Complicating, or in other terms, like numbing it. Because I mean, like as far as like collision detection or lane assist, it's like the one that stuck out the most.
All of that exists because of human.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately.
Have you ever driven a car with auto braking?
Yeah.
Have you ever had an auto brake on you?
No.
Okay, well I have, so therefore it has saved my ass already.
I've only had another instance was like lane control for me was it started forcing itself into a lane that wasn't there.
Yeah, because that's the problem. They use cameras.
Yeah.
They use cameras that point down, and it's trying to detect the marker lines.
So it hunts for it the other way.
It uses cameras that point down, and then it uses actual cameras that look forward as well to look. Basically, the camera is almost like an AI way of verifying what the LiDAR is seeing, right? And so it just has all these checks and balances. It's like, is that a lane? Yep, that's a lane. But you might see a seam that's a different color, right? Because our freeways, sometimes it's concrete and blacktop or whatever. Yeah. And it just like goes off to the right. Yeah, I've had the car try and be like, yeah, we're going this way now.
It's like, nope.
Yeah. And depending on the vehicle, sometimes it's forceful. At least like
fight the wheel.
Like I find that American cars aren't quite as forceful, but I find that European cars are pretty forceful, but you can go into the settings and dampen it.
Oh, okay.
But so what was your experience last night that had you thinking about this?
I mean, I like WALL-E. I was watching WALL-E and like, well, people are, it's a lot of automation going on. And
of all the things to take away from WALL-E, wait, let's back the thought train up. Of all the things you could have taken away from WALL-E about pollution and about like just the overall slobby nature that human beings are.
It was a real deep rabbit hole because it started out like where I was watching Stars on Mars with my sister, and then it's like, okay, outer space, there's space travel, and then somehow ended up like we were talking about WALL-E. It's like, okay, it'll take a while to get to Mars, but like how it was weird, but is how much automation do we need before?
Well, in that universe, a lot.
Yeah,
they had literally skyscrapers made of trash blocks.
Yeah,
trash bricks.
It came down. To me, I what do you call it? Digressed into. There's a lot of automation that I don't like right now, but where was a sweet spot that I thought was a sweet spot of like the balance between too much automation or not having automation like taking over our lives kind of deal.
This always circles back to the discussion of robots are taking our jobs kind of a thing. But there are jobs that robots can do to near perfection at a cheaper rate than a human.
Yeah.
So there's the technological dilemma, right? Not to mention robots don't complain. Robots don't form a union. Robots don't want benefits. Robots don't have to see the doctor. I mean, they have to see the maintenance guy or whatever, but they're not going to be like, hey, I want vacation next week.
But it's like also like robots can get kicked over and like in LA, the automated lunch delivery.
Oh yeah, I saw that news article how people are attacking them.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing they can do.
So if you guys aren't aware, like in LA and a lot of other cities, I think this was almost like started in Japan, I think, before, and maybe even Korea prior to ever coming to the US, but they have food delivery robots or like convenience store delivery robots. It's look like little Wallies doing their thing.
Like coolers with wheels on it.
Basically, yeah, they look like an igloo cooler with just 4 wheels on it and a little antenna and stuff, right? And it's got cameras and all that crap. And it just goes about doing its thing, and it's intended to be an automated little delivery service. But apparently, people in LA are attacking them and like smashing them or flipping them on their sides and stuff. I've seen them get stuck on train tracks too, and they get just like demolished by trains.
Oh, geez, I haven't seen that.
Because they get their wheels stuck in the track.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I remember I think you were with us. Maybe the first time I ever experienced a food robot was at Korean barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when it was like, what is that? I was like, what the hell, the Jetsons just happened. Like I'd never experienced a robot bring me food.
I mean, like in a restaurant stereo, it's pretty dope. Like even the conveyor belts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, outside, it's very skeptical because there's no one to like supervise them in a sense to make sure they get to their destination.
As somebody that's not necessarily the most extroverted type of person or the most like socially comfortable person, I'm a little concerned at the amount of lack of human contact that our trajectory is right now. what I mean by that is this tech, like the delivery robots and the delivery waiters and all the automated stuff happening now with the self checkouts, which has been there forever, but the self ordering now at restaurants and all that. The
online
the
pickups.
pay on the tablet, even at like Applebee's or whatever it is, you never even have to talk to a person other than it being dropped off.
True.
Like I feel like we have to maintain some level of human interaction, otherwise we sort of revert to a very Neanderthal type of interaction between other human beings, which at that point is very caveman. And what I mean by that is just like it's the lack of empathy or respect for someone else.
Yeah,
I think a healthy like respect has to be earned from other people. Like, hey, I respect everyone, blah blah blah. To you act like a jerk to me, and then I'm gonna act like a jerk to you. But the problem is like people are so quick to act like jerks immediately in their first interactions. So that's why Karens are so popular these days. And what I mean by that is like just everyone has phones, and then entitlement leads to that type of behavior. And maybe it's because people need to learn how to interact a little better. But do you feel like 20 years from now, this is going to lead to just like, I don't know, nobody knows how to talk to each other anymore?
probably. I honestly wouldn't be surprised at this point. Like, and anything goes in this simulation.
Yeah, I do feel like we're in the DLC already.
Yeah.
Like the main storyline's over.
We're in Endgame. We're just getting random seasons now. Just
I feel like it's like the movie Free Guy, where they're just writing the game as it's happening.
Oh, okay.
So you don't really know, like, we're just NPCs in this world that's changing around us.
I feel
And then
like
suddenly a big, strong, dumb version of us just pops out. You know,
I think it's
that's just normal me.
Gosh, I don't know. That's 5 a.m. workout you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I push heavy stuff. Hungry. Coffee.
I think the modders just took over the server at this point, so they're letting it just kind of free form itself.
No, this is like GTA 5 in a hacker lobby.
Yeah. There is no narrative. Things are just happening.
I do feel like we're living in a little bit of a hacker lobby. But I mean, okay, but can we at least play devil's advocate and flip it and say what has automated improved in your life? Because we can easily say what we don't like about things, but sometimes it's a little harder to say, what do I like about this?
I like the Apple Watch thing a lot, even though I forget to wear it most of this week.
I don't remember the last time I've seen you wear it.
Our weekend thing. That's the last time I remember putting it on.
Okay.
Yeah. So
the thing he loves, he forgets about, guys.
yeah, I mean, because it's like notifications. Like it got to a point, it's like, okay, I just need to mute the thing, but I also like having my steps counted. But I gamified my steps, basically.
So you've now gone into the human version of your miles per gallon logging on your car. You're just now like how many steps per day?
Yeah, but they're
my steps per day suck. I'm like 5,000 a day. That's like nothing.
I'm probably less. But I try to at least fill in 2 circles: my standing circle and my movement circle.
Yeah, but don't be like Phil's friend who set it to like 100 calories on the move circle.
Oh no. I think
mine's set to 1,100.
Okay, mine's like at 500.
Oh. I'm a look. This body doesn't just happen. Okay. Do you know what happen if I stopped moving 1,100 calories a day?
No,
I wouldn't be able to fit to that door again. Probably.
Oh.
We need to start riding our bikes more. Like again.
Yeah.
You hurt. We need to exercise.
Because there's only slopes at my place. I need to bring in my bike to the office.
Exactly. The best thing about slopes is you can get a better exercise in a shorter amount of time.
It's uphill everywhere I go.
Everywhere you go up has to lead to a down to get back to where you came from.
But it's the ups that hurt the most.
Then don't go up last. Go up first.
No, there's like in any direction apart from going down the hill is up.
That is what not going down is.
Oh my gosh.
If you have to go up the hill, start your 2 mile. It's short 2 mile ride is all you got to do with those kinds of hills where you live. 2 miles that way. Okay, 4 miles total. 2 miles that way.
Okay, that sounds more reasonable.
And then turn around and come back. You're coasting the entire way. So you can't count the downhill coasting as quote unquote exercise. It's only going to be the uphill where you get the benefit. But you could do so much in 30 minutes versus like going out on the flats and riding 20 miles in an hour and a half. And
those were enjoyable though. Just like
until you knock a pedal off your bike, until you get 16 flats.
That wasn't on me though. So the pedal part wasn't on me.
But still, we were almost as far away from the car as we could be.
I know, but like I mean, besides
like I half expected you to have been like mugged, beaten up. Like, because where we broke down was not the best part of Upland, by the way. So
I mean, I lived through that. It's okay.
yeah,
Like,
get it.
but yeah, I mean, those are decent. I just like the mileage that we got on those, because there's like a steady mileage versus an intense uphill climb just for a downhill.
See, that's the thing. Someone said e-bike, LOL. Like, I get it. If you need to commute, if I commuted by bike, I'd probably use an e-bike because you can still pedal an e-bike and help along
It's
the
like
way.
electric motors.
The more you pedal, the less battery you're going to use, right?
Yeah.
But you have like really big, long range versus, and and some of the hills would be nice just to use them to help go up. But e-bike would be awesome for commuting. But for me, like cycling has always been just exercise. So an e-bike is just counterproductive to the idea of exercising. Because if that battery dies, now you get a big, fat, heavy bike that you got to pedal back to wherever you're going. Because e-bikes are anything but lightweight, that's for sure.
They're pretty chunky. I only rode one once, and that was down by the beach.
Yeah, but that's a beach ride.
Yeah, I mean, it still felt heavy to pedal. It wasn't.
I mean, I would agree with you when I asked you what tech that automation, whatever has improved your life, or that you. I agree with the watch. I never ever forget my watch, and if I do, I'm just like, oh man, I'm totally naked right now. I'm like, don't look at me, right? But it feels so weird. But I'm trying to think of like automation. Automation's all about automatic tech, right? It's something that happens automatically.
I think where we could categorize it as things that make things streamlined easier, make things easier. I forgot what word was for making it easier. Convenience, making things more convenient.
But that doesn't necessarily involve automation.
But it involves tech in general, right?
Yeah, but you said automated.
Yeah. Okay.
On here.
I should have rephrased it then in terms that just like convenience / automation.
Okay, I do find self-checkout convenient because, again, like I just said, I don't want to talk to people. So I'm part of the problem.
It's easy.
Like, I don't want to talk to the cashier. I don't want to have that fake conversation. Hello, how's your day? You really don't care.
The only gripe I have is like Lowe's or something, because, I mean, you could use the discount cards. Usually my military ID card back in the day.
Well, mine expired a long time ago, so I don't get that anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like for other situations, I wouldn't see like a need for talking to an actual human. But like if they got to verify something for a discount, then I'd rather have a human.
Do you see? You guys always give us a hard time that we don't let Phil or Nick talk, but he just said he doesn't want to talk to people as well.
It's true. I don't want to talk to people.
Like even if you said it yourself right now, like, hey, I don't talk much during the podcast.
They won't believe me.
Yeah, if you were like, I choose not to talk much, like we could just be sitting here and be like, Nick, talk. You'd be like,
why talk when few words do work?
Oh yeah, me mechanic know what me mean when me say no, me car no go.
Yeah, car no go space.
Why use many word when few word do trick? That's an office quote if you guys are wondering. Okay, me do. Go now. They thought he was having a stroke. It was one of the best episodes. Yeah.
What's up?
I just want to see what'll happen if I have to let you drive the conversation.
Oh my God.
I'm letting the audience learn. They're gonna learn today. You notice how quiet it is without Phil laughing?
It is, but
it's like weird for us too, guys.
That I don't have my headphones on, so it's a lot louder.
Right? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
No, God.
You're right.
What is
you
the
do talk
audience
louder
want
with the
from me?
headphones on, even though you can hear yourself.
Right?
Right.
Okay. But I mean, electronic doors, like the ring doors or something. That's
I thought you were talking about the
or the keypad. No.
When I was a kid, the automatic doors that would open at like grocery stores had that pressure pad. The pressure pad.
Oh,
you had to step on the pad, and that's what would make it open. Then they got the sensor, and I love how you become so accustomed to it always opening that the one time it doesn't, you're guaranteed to make a smudge on the glass, right? And it's always forehead or nose. Oh, what the hell? And I feel like sometimes people turn that off for fun, but it's like, or you get the lazy one that doesn't open right away, so you're like da da da.
You wave your hand like open.
Force.
It's not open.
Every kid has ever been like, open, and then watch it open and be like, I know magic.
It's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, get a Tesla so you can do summon. It's like, it's coming, and it just keeps going and crashes into crap because it's a Tesla.
Oh no, I did the summon on a Honda Fit and summoned it into the garage. So
Okay, so you talk about automation and convenience.
that wasn't convenient.
But one of the things that has really started growing, especially in very populated metropolitan areas, are the AI robo-taxis.
I read about those.
Would
but
you get in one?
No.
Did you know that Chevrolet was just ordered to reduce its fleet by half because of the amount of accidents that have been involved with their robo-taxis?
No.
I think we should do a video where we three go for a ride in a robo-taxi.
Let me get a Hans device first. Like, I have the helmet. Let me get a Hans device.
Yeah, no, Chevrolet was, I think they were using Bolts or either Bolts or Volts. I'm not sure which, but yeah, they have like a self-driving robo-taxi car.
No.
I want to do a video where we get in one.
I'm legit need to buy.
Because I think they have them in Vegas too.
I need to legit bring my helmet then. If that's going to happen.
Is there anyone in chat that's from Vegas? I'm pretty sure Vegas has those as well.
Oh, I can message. But I'll do it after the show.
Yeah, but that doesn't help us during the show.
Okay, well, I'll message him now then.
Jay, Nick, and Phil go to Vegas to ride robo-taxi. They were never heard from again.
Yeah.
Drives us to Red Rock. Just drops us off in the middle of the desert in the middle of the summer.
Or Hoover Dam. Just get.
I thought you said Hooter Dam. I was like, is that like a new restaurant? Because
Let me look it up after I send this message.
Johnny Murder Cab. Are you messaging Nazar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Vegas has the robo-taxis. It makes sense with the amount of drunks that they have there. You know, but the problem is robo-taxis continue to crash into things, and that's because I feel like the taxi can't respond, not the taxi, but the AI self-driving aspect of the car can't respond fast enough to how fast an idiot can perform.
If you build something smart, we will build a better idiot. Like
Yes.
that's how it's.
Yeah, that is the way that I feel. Like that's how I think these crashes keep happening. I don't know if it's necessarily just like the robocar just didn't stop or whatever. I think if someone does some sort of such a random maneuver in front of it that it cannot figure it out.
Yeah, I can't compute it. Or maybe the people who literally just like sleep and let the car drive itself. There's that one article about the guy in San Francisco.
Yeah, but in the robo-taxi, you're in the back.
Oh.
There's nothing. There's no one up front, right? So you're literally a passenger.
Yeah, no, I'd be really scared. Like yeah.
Think of the lawsuit. It's America. Think of the lawsuit. Okay.
Oh, I can't walk, but I'm super rich now. Just like...
I mean, I feel like self-driving cars are never going to be reliable until we have talkback roads. What I mean by that is the car and the road
are talking to each other.
Like the road is a network, and the road and the car are talking to each other.
Like Rise of the Empire.
Yeah. So the road will tell the car, hey, this stoplight's going to turn red in 20 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
So the car already knows what's happening because the road is telling it. But when it has to make sense by using cameras, how many times have you seen stoplights that are not working properly, or like the red doesn't turn on or the green doesn't turn on?
Or it's like the shortest yellow light ever.
Or it's faded. Like the bulb, like some of them are not LED around here still. Maybe we still have some of the old ones with the lens on it.
Oh,
have you seen those?
No.
Like if the sun hits it just right, you can't tell what color's on because they all look illuminated. It just looks like red, yellow, green is on, like all of them, because the sun hits it just right.
Jeez.
So imagine you're an AI vehicle trying to make sense of that. Or how many times have you been driving down a street and you didn't see a stop sign coming up because there's a tree or a bush grown in front of it?
Oh yeah. Seen those.
Imagine your AI trying to make sense of that.
But
like, there's no stop sign here. Right through it goes.
Whoops.
So that's what I'm saying. Until the roads can be intelligent and talk back. Now we have millions upon millions upon millions of miles of road in the U.S. alone. How are you going to do that? Because I feel like it had to be built into the road.
I think Disney needs to send their Imagineers over to help with that situation.
It's almost like you'd have to put down whatever network on the ground and then pave over it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
you'd
we'd
have
have to
to
build the
embed it.
road up.
Yeah.
I don't think we could tear them up. But I did see this thing years ago, though. That was this crazy, like, it was a smart street. It was like tiles that they look like hexagon tiles, like honeycomb, that were like clicked together. And multiple things happened. One, they were solar panels.
Yeah.
So they were able to create power.
I think I read about this before.
Yeah.
too.
And then two, they also had like a network built in that could talk to vehicles. And that was supposed to be like one of the fixes of like, here's how we can get to the next level of self-driving cars. But this was like probably 5-7 years ago, something like that.
Honestly, I think phase one would be something like solar power reflectors on the shoulders to kind of set like a main boundary,
Right.
and then eventually like they'll phase in the little dots in the middle of the road or something.
Okay, there is an estimated 4.18 million miles of paved road in the U.S. That's paved. Believe it or not, there's a lot of roads in the U.S. that are not paved, like that people live on and stuff.
Oh,
so
I believe it.
they'd be completely assed out on a self-driving car if it came down to needing the road.
They have to go to manual control.
That project failed to get funding support. Yeah, I remember they were like, I think they were really trying to crowd fund that. But that's the thing. You get some of these great ideas, but it's just they never go anywhere.
Yeah.
Ideas are free. Making it happen costs a lot of money.
Unfortunately. But maybe it's also a good thing in some parts, because if it turns out to be bad, then we save that much money. But something like this, I think it needs a little bit more time to cook in the oven, the idea oven per se, to sell more people on it.
I don't know if in my lifetime I'll ever see like the iRobot type of self-driving car, but I think in my kids' lifetimes maybe.
I have no comment.
Like I think that's doable.
Nazar said Vegas does have automated taxis.
Yeah, I thought so. Let's go to Vegas. If we go to CES, we have to do it. We have to.
Let me message John so I can get my Hans device.
Make sure your health insurance and your life insurance are paid up. Okay.
What is life?
The downside is I think everyone in Vegas is going to be trying to use those robo-taxis too. So that's the downside. Like I feel like we have to try and do it either before or after CES officially kicks off. And I think they also only service the Strip, like hotel to hotel type of. It really in Vegas specifically. I remember this campaign. It was really pushed about reducing DUIs and drunk driving incidents.
Okay.
If there's ever a city that needs it.
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm kind of interested just to see, even before CES, just how their infrastructure handles Formula One.
Yeah, you're right. That's coming up this year.
Yeah, because it's taking like a good quarter or a good section of the Strip, and I don't know, like logistic-wise, how they're going to get people working around it. Even
I wonder if they're going to construct temporary bridges to go over the Strip to get from one side to the other. Because they have those bridges now, but they're only at the intersections. I wonder if they're going to construct some temporary like metal ones.
I mean, just like the amount of people though, like I think they need.
If Long Beach can do it. Okay, I know it's F1, but still, I think if Long Beach can do the Grand Prix, which is arguably one of the biggest racing events in the U.S.
And they run it for 2 different weekends because Formula D is one.
You're right,
weekend.
and then Miami does it too. These are very populated cities that I think have shown that it can work. Like, have you ever? I know you've gone walking around Long Beach with Brian before.
Yeah.
You ever looked at the curbing where you can still see?
Yeah.
You ever looked at that and go, "How the hell do these cars work over this surface? Because it's so uneven and bumpy."
They just do it.
My
They have plenty of downforce to support it.
Still, downforce over those bumps, you're gonna feel it. You know, magnetic paint will allow cars to sense one another.
Okay, so making like a metallic paint. That's interesting.
Okay, that's cool. Cars sensing each other is only the start of the solution. Because what you need right now is not you and I next to each other going, "Hey, you're a person. Hey, you're a person too." We need, "Hey, where are you going and how fast are you going? Are you about to turn?" You know, like
wait, let me go first.
We need communication other than "Hello, fellow car," because all of our cars, and if anything built like within the last 10 years for sure, already goes, "There's a car there. There's a car there." And do you know that just about any car that has brake assist, lane keep, awareness assist, awareness assist is the thing, right?
So like awareness just lets you blind spot. No.
Awareness is they actually have cameras in the dash watching the driver, and it knows when your eyes are not looking at the road.
Oh.
So every single time, oh crap, they knew I wasn't looking at the road. Okay, cool, they're gone. Cool. Okay, so I could think of 2 times since I've had cars with auto braking and all that sort of stuff that it auto braked, and it wasn't when traffic was like. It's not like traffic came to a real sudden stop, and I wasn't able to react fast enough. It's traffic was starting to slow down, and my eyes were not. I was either looking at the radio, admittedly maybe my phone or something like that, and then it does the and I looked, and it's basically saying brake, but it didn't start braking yet.
Oh, so it gives you a chance to intervene.
It knows
before
like,
it.
bro, traffic stop, dude, look, right?
Yeah.
If I hadn't reacted fast enough, it then would have done it. Now, only one time I've ever had a vehicle brake for me because traffic in front of me decided to literally do like, let's do an F1 braking maneuver in front of me, right? And I knew about that. That was in the AMG when it did all kinds of crazy things, right? Yeah, I ended up taking over and fighting it because I didn't like what it did. But that was an auto braking function where the beeping and the braking happened at the same moment. So yeah, you can turn off that function, but it freaks a lot of people out thinking like, yo, my car is watching me. It's the same argument of like smart TVs that have cameras built in, laptops that have cameras, your phones have cameras, right? I mean, a little fun fact about Steve. I don't know if you guys know this. Steve always keeps a piece of tape over his camera lenses, front facing and rear facing. Rear facing, probably not so much, but front facing, he keeps a piece of tape on it. Always.
I mean, that's fair. Back in college, everyone I knew had pieces of tape over their MacBooks.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I'm like, why do you guys do that? It's like, because it's always on. Like,
You know it's always on.
Yeah.
Everyone in chat has probably experienced this. I'm fairly certain every single person in chat right now has a smartphone of some kind, whether it's old or new, has mentioned something, talked about something with someone, and had an ad for it on their phone the same day, having never typed it into your phone.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that because it happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Like one time, I remember making a comment to my wife or something like that. I was like, if we don't change our ways, because I'm always like, hey, we need to like reduce our spending, right? But if we don't change our ways, we're gonna be living in a tent in the forest. Literally, I got an ad for tents. Not even kidding. And I'm like, son of a, they're listening.
I think the last time it got me was I was talking about overlanding, but
You just start getting like ads for like racks and stuff.
No, I got specific on a car, and then the ads started coming up for the car, but not only for the car, but like the overland attachments for the car. I was like, oh no, this is getting too scary.
And someone paid in that amount of time. Automation, by the way, paid someone to serve that ad to you.
Yeah.
That quickly.
How do I do that? Like, I want to make money like that, just serving it.
The people who figured all that out are freaking flying in rocket ships right now for fun.
Oh no, that's too much. Like,
So that's the class. That's the class of society we're talking about right now.
like SpaceX and Blue Origin, that's doing too much. I need like maybe a tier down.
But when I'm saying, you said how do you do that? I'm telling you, those people, like the money from that is what's funding that. You know.
I was thinking, how do I become the ad to be shoved in your face?
Someone said privacy is not a thing of the past. I think they mean now a thing of the past. Privacy's always been a thing of the past. It's way more in your face now. In fact,
I think the big data is even more in your face now.
That's what I was going to say. It's like they're just unabashed about it now. They don't even hide it anymore.
Yeah, it used to be under wraps, but like even Facebook.
But do you know why? Because we all willingly have a million devices in our person or in our home or in our car.
And the cookies.
Because of the convenience you talked about. Mm-hmm. It's just become a way of life. Now, here's the thing. I have a unique perspective of this because I live in the public. I mean, we all live in the public, but I mean, like, admittedly, if you take a random person off the street, the amount of people that are paying attention to what they're doing versus the amount of people paying attention to someone like myself or any other tech YouTuber or any YouTuber or I hate the term influencer, but obviously there's a lot of people watching. So privacy is not something I've really had much of over the last few years. So I get to the points where I'm like, okay, so you know my shopping habits. So what? You know what I mean? I don't personally care.
Yeah.
I don't personally care. But the problem is that same information can lead to personal attacks and hacks and stuff like that. Because it's that sending of data back and forth that gets picked up and then, whether it be a online purchase and they sniff the bank account. Heck, you're more than likely to get hacked at the gas station with your credit card than you are online these days.
Yeah.
See it all the time.
Like the dummy covers, like in the videos and stuff.
Yeah. Well, one of the latest scams that I've heard about that was happening, says the guy in camera. I just said that. I just said I'm the guy that has no privacy. Anyway, can somebody escort him out, please? Heckler. It's like a comedy club.
Oh man.
Anyway, I read about a recent scam that's taken place locally. I think this was at Bank of America, and they put out a little notice on like the Nextdoor app or whatever to tell everyone like, hey, beware. What happens is like people are the quote unquote hackers or scammers. They are putting bubble gum, like shoving gum in the card reader. So what's happening is it's stopping the card from going in all the way. And then what they do is they sit around like pretending like they were on another ATM and then telling them like, oh yeah, that one doesn't work. You have to use the tap. Because now you can use the tap function at an ATM.
Oh, the NFC?
The NFC.
NFC, yeah.
Yeah, the NFC tap. So you have tap to pay. You can do tap at ATM as well. So once you tap, put in your PIN number and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
The difference between tap and a physical card is, the ATM hangs onto your card now?
Yeah.
And it makes you take your card before you get your money?
Yeah.
Because what would happen is people take their money and forget their card and off they go. The scam is they'll tell you to use tap and then they'll distract you or whatever, and then the person forgets to end the transaction. So once they've walked away and that transaction is still active,
It's still open.
It's still open. Now, they still have to have the PIN number to take more money again. But if they've gone through all that and gotten to that point, they've more than likely already somehow witnessed you put in your PIN number. And it's happening enough to where Bank of America had to put out a little notice of like, hey, if the card doesn't work, we recommend, checking your surroundings, make sure no one, like, don't let people help you, et cetera, because they're forcing the card reader to not work, so you have to use tap. And I'm like,
so tap's the more vulnerable way to get your stuff skimmed.
Yeah, in the sense that you can't, you're not guided by the remove your card to remind you like, hey, let's end the transaction.
Because my personal cards don't have the NFC chip yet, so I think next round it's going to happen.
Is that because you're in a credit union?
The newer cards from the credit union still have the NFC chip. I just have the old model.
Yeah, it's another reason why like people love like Ridge Wallet and stuff like that is because they have Faraday cages for the cards.
Yeah, mine has a liner on the inside.
I've been debating doing that. I haven't personally had anything skimmed or whatever in a while, but that's because I'm pretty diligent about when I go to the gas station. I check, like I go to the same gas stations regularly, so I know when something seems off.
Yeah, and
the gas stations that I go to are pretty good about keeping the tamper tape like all over the damn thing.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, what people do with that, right, is they'll just put a keypad on top of the keypad, and then all it does is pass through. But I feel like it's brazen for someone to feel comfortable with taking their equipment and attaching it to a gas pump right there in front in plain as day. Mm-hmm. They probably have someone going inside and distracting the workers with some questions or something stupid like, I want these scratchers or whatever, right? Yeah. You all know how long it takes. I don't buy them, but I've been in line behind people that are like, I want scratchers, and how long it takes for them to buy them and activate that crap.
I think there needs to be like a separate line for those people. Like, I just want some Gatorade, dude.
Yes. So I think there's a pretty solid routine on how people get that to work. But that's another thing I hear people all the time on these apps, like, hey, be careful, just went shopping, I got gas or whatever, and I got home and saw that there was like $500 run on my card at the same gas station after me. I'm like, okay. But that's just about people having to be maybe a little less oblivious through life, if that makes sense.
I think, yeah. I mean, maybe it's a personal fear, but that's why I don't even use like the NFC stuff on my phone. Like,
I don't use my phone to pay for anything.
Yeah, I don't do like I don't have a phone on the wallet or anything like that. I just.
You mean you don't have cards in the phone wallet?
Yeah. I don't keep my stuff.
The only stuff I have in there is like my AAA. If we're flying anywhere, I have my boarding passes and stuff. But I don't put put payment information in there.
I don't need my credit card.
Now that stuff is all encrypted on a non-crackable physical version of the chip. I don't know if you know that. On these iPhones, like, it is stored physically on the chip. It's not stored in the cloud or anything like that.
Okay.
As long as Apple's telling the truth.
Yeah.
And we've all heard the companies be like, we don't save your data. Hey, look at all the data we found that you're saving. Like, hello, Anchor, we're looking at you.
So we had a leak recently, and it might have had personal info.
Oh, you mean the personal info that you're not hanging on to?
Yeah,
Stuff.
Oh,
that personal info.
Oh, cat's out the bag. Hey.
Yeah, we live in a freaking, like, it's Wild West online. And scammers on forums, like car parts forums and stuff. It's nuts right now.
Yeah,
it is crazy. Like, the latest scam is, oh, I don't have the part you're looking for, but my friend does. Contact him, right? It's just insane. Like, we've all seen the scam attempts that. Now, I used to be like, Phil and I talked about this, and I know you've heard us talk about this. I used to think anyone that would contact me with the quote unquote WhatsApp or whatever scams that have been in the comment sections of YouTube videos. Have you never paid attention to this?
Oh yeah,
They pretend to be the creator, and then
you won a prize. So and so.
yeah, and then what they do is they get people to believe they won something, but they have to pay for shipping. So they're just getting tons of like $100, $200 shipping fees, like left and left, right. That's how they're making money. Is on the
no tracking number.
Yeah, fake tracking numbers. Yeah. You know, but I'm telling you right now, I used to think these are the stupidest people in the world to fall for this. Like, one, my name is spelled wrong, like way wrong.
Yeah.
Two, it's broken English. Maybe that's my fault. Because maybe people just think I type like I talk, which I kind of do, but still, is it not odd that you're looking at what shipping is going to be from like Manila, the Philippines, right? Why would, ask yourself, why would JayzTwoCents be sending me a PS5, which by the way, I've never given away a PS5 or an Apple iPhone, which is like the common giveaways, PS5 or iPhones. And why is it coming from the Philippines, right? Anyway, so aside from all of these intelligence tests, I still get emails. It's been a while now. I've been a part. It's no longer in beta anymore, but YouTube really did a
crack down on those.
Well, they trained the AI to detect them better. I still think all they should have done is just make it so that you can't have freaking alphanumeric usernames, because they're putting the WhatsApp number in the username. That's how they were doing it. Okay. Easy fix, and don't allow special characters, but I have to assume there's something in their coding that it's not that simple. Anyway, I still get people that will message me and say, hey, I just think you should know about this scam that's happening. And I'm like, I have made videos about it. I have tweeted about it. I have put community posts about it. I have put pinned comments about it. I have talked about it in my videos. If you are this unaware, and I've told this to a couple people before, it's maybe not nice, and in hindsight, I feel a little bad about it, but I've told them before, you are the problem. Like, what do you mean I'm the problem? I'm the one that got scammed. Yeah, because you fell for so much stupidity along the way. You've proved to them this works.
So they'll keep doing it, yeah.
So although you've now like wised up to the scam, you have given them every incentive to keep going. Even there's been people too that have been like, well, I'm glad I caught this. I didn't give them any money, so good on me. It's like, no, bad on you, because you contacted them. Just the fact that you contacted them was enough to make them want to keep going.
I've only had one recent scam recently on, it was Instagram, but it was an account. I followed one account because they had some really cool content. And then eventually I got an account that looked similar. It was like a screenshot of their picture. And then they DM'd me like out of the blue. I'm like, no, like I automatically blocked it. But it was weird because as soon as I blocked that, like 3 more accounts that are copy pasted.
Yeah, because it's all automated. Those are bots.
Yeah.
Those are bots, 100%. And they're bots that are interconnected with the account that you're following. So the one that you actually followed may be legit, but they're bots that somehow are just constantly scanning the followers list and just blasting them out. Yeah. So here's another popular scam that takes place. So I don't know how often you go to Facebook. I only go to Facebook for some of the like enthusiast groups. So I belong to like an R8 group. I belong to like the Camaro group and some of the local like what's happening around your area type of forums.
Yeah.
And the scams I just told you about, where people are trying to sell something in a group, or they're trying to buy, like a want to buy. They're like, hey, contact my friend. He can blah, blah, blah. And I see the screenshots. Like literally every day someone falls for this crap. Okay. So in the R8 forums the other day, or post the other day on Facebook, it was someone that just said, hey, R8 enthusiasts, which is the name of the group, post those R8 pics. And I was like, click on the profile. It had been created that day. So what happens is when you reply to the bot, you're feeding it all the usernames of people that it's going to basically have this database of people in that forum, in that group, to try and do these scams with. And that was something that one of the moderators had been like, hey, if you notice anyone like doing the whole post pics of your ride thing and their account is brand new, don't reply, because it's going to put you on their little bot database thing.
Yeah.
There's like 450 replies in a day. I'm like, I didn't even reply to tell people like, don't reply to this crap, because that would put me on it.
Yeah. You probably had it in your, I don't want to say like Camaro forums probably, but
all of them.
Okay, you always have like the one person that's like out of state trying to sell something in a local forum, and then they
Yeah.
it's an automatic red flag if they can't read the
Those are the people
locations.
that they'll make the deal seem too good to be true. So then what you end up doing is you end up giving them even partial money,
like
or
a
whatever.
deposit, or whatever.
First of all, who's selling anything online is ever willing to take a deposit? Okay, that should be red flag number one.
Yeah.
Red flag number two, I think you've probably seen it in like the Nissan stuff. You'll find like 4 or 5 people complaining about a quote unquote scammer that sold them all the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's.
I think the Z people are very easily targeted because there's only X amount of hot boy parts people want for that car.
Let me tell you what one my mom keeps falling for. Now my mom is 75 years old. Okay. I love my mom to death. Actually, no, she's 74. Take that back. She was born in 47. We've just recharged your account. We just restarted your Norton subscription for $500 and blah 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 dollars.
Oh,
I didn't order Norton. I better call them and fix this right now.
Oh no!
Like 3 different times. Guess what? All 3 times she had money missing from her bank account within days. And I always ask her, I'm like, Mom, did you give them any information? No, I swear I didn't give them any information. 2 days later, there's $1,000 missing from my account. Did you really give them info? No, I didn't give them any info. It's like
the share screen and the
you gave them info, right? Did they tell you to click on anything? Well, yeah, they wanted to verify my account. I'm like,
oh no.
You can't protect your own parents. It's funny, like the reverse role right there.
They gotta learn.
It's like I'm the parent now. Okay.
That are like the scam UPS delivery text messages. Have you got
Oh
those before?
yeah. Dude, it's and even the UPS, like there's so many typos and crap on it.
Yeah.
Dear UP customer, I've gotten them before. UP customer, like the S was missing.
Oh,
I bet you I have one on my phone right now, but
I have a legit UPS account, so I get notified.
yeah,
when
you get automatically
UPS
told someone's shipping something to you.
Yeah, but then I had the false ones. It's off by a letter, or the link that it attaches itself to is like, that's not a normal UPS link.
I almost got once. There was one that was really good, and it almost got me.
Oh,
It almost got me. It was your Google password has successfully been changed. What? So YouTube and all that's through a Google account. It's not through a YouTube account. So they're Google accounts.
Yeah.
I clicked on the email, like opened up the email. The page looks super legit. All the writing, it's like they took an actual copy of the legit "you've changed your password" confirmation, and then it was like, if this wasn't you, click here. And I was like, let me click that email real quick. Click the email, and then saw the crazy ass gibberish. And I'm like, not today, scammer.
dude.
Not today. And I did change my password immediately after. And my passwords are all 128 characters. Yeah. So thank God for vaults. As long as the vault stays secure.
Yeah, as long as the vault is safe. I spent a whole day migrating, and I don't want to do that again.
I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice to use a vault because I have so many accounts with so many complex passwords. I just do the best I can to stay ahead of if there's some sort of an issue with the vault. I make sure that I change the masters and change everything under it after the master's changed. But they said, we want Jay's mom on RTFM. No, you don't.
No.
My mom's a sweet lady, but she'd be like, hello? This is so nice.
I think our moms should just be on a podcast, and we should watch
just them. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, what would it'd be the P&M show, the Peggy and Melanie show. Welcome to the Peggy and Melanie show.
Oh no.
Could you imagine?
I just want to know what kind of stories they're going to pull out.
It's just gonna be talking crap about us. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Don't you just love it when? And then Mom, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
That's why I don't want to be there physically. I just want to sit in and listen.
But you have to ask my mom if she'll be on. She'll tell me no.
Oh, okay.
It's like the whole. You ask my mom if you can stay the night. She'll tell me no.
I'll ask your mom if you ask my mom, because if I ask my mom, she's going to say no.
No. That'd be a great podcast one day. Melanie, Peggy, and then I don't know Phil's mom's name, but Phil's mom over there.
Oh my gosh, like a Mother's Day special.
And here's the thing. You guys don't know this. All 3 of our moms are immigrants. So literally, it's like That would be some culture clash right there, just to see how it goes. Because your mom is Indian, my mom is German, and Phil's mom is obviously Filipino. So,
I mean, just like I want.
Could you imagine that?
Should just drop some cue cards. Like, what are the similarities?
Yeah, we would just have to give them like, okay, if the discussion starts lagging, go to the next bullet point and just see what comes out.
Oh my gosh, how common were timeouts versus spankings?
I have to wonder how many people would pop in just randomly be like, what is Jay, Nick, and Phil's moms saying?
What do they have to say about their children?
My mom for sure would have to have a glass of wine. My mom's a wino. She drinks wine like it's water, right? She has a glass of wine with dinner every night. Like it's white Zinfandel, it's her thing, right? White Zinfandel. It's barely wine as far as I'm concerned, but and I'm not even a wine drinker.
I think my mom would probably say, "Can you make me a cocktail?" I'm like, "Okay, fine. Let's do something simple."
I feel like here's the way I feel like it would go. I feel like my mom, I love her to death, would never shut up, just like me. I feel like your mom would be the agreeing type. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
And then she'll have a story
because
to
I see it all the time. Yep. Yep. That's what your mom does, right? Yep. Yep. And you know what else? And then she like adds to it, right? And then I feel like Phil's mom would actually be giggling just like Phil sitting over there. Because I've like heard, he showed me videos before of like a video chat or something that's taking place or whatever. I feel like, because for everything he's told me, she's still like a 27-year-old. So I imagine she'd be over there just drinking something and just giggling away.
Like the youngest of the bunch.
Yes.
So she could lead the show.
How old's your mom?
Great question.
My God.
Next question.
How old's your sister? Oh my!
wait.
Do you know anything about? How old is Baxter?
Baxter is going to turn 4.
See what I mean, guys?
He's turning 4 on November 5th. My sister is 2 years younger than me, so that will make her 30.
You're old.
Thanks. So are you.
I don't try and hide it.
Oh my God.
I still walk around wearing Supreme.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You seem like a Supreme guy.
Oh, a hype beast? No, my
What's a high beast?
A hype beast, like the clothing.
I said high beast.
High beast.
What's a high beast?
I believe that's
Is that
you.
Mr. Beast? Is that a new Mr. Beast channel? High beast?
No.
Mr. Beast on gummies.
Oh my gosh. Oh, no.
All right. I had a topic on here, ironically.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. It's just wait. I don't know why there's like a whole page of gap.
This isn't a topic. This is like, what is this? Like it looks like a opening for research theory. Like,
well, I did my homework. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to do my diligence. Give me the credit.
Good credit.
All right. So my topic is actually about I want to talk about the Volition Games shutdown. So
Okay.
Game Informer is talking about this, and I guess you guys don't know Volition Games is a studio that has made Saints Row, Red Dawn. There's a few other. They've been around for 30 years. Been around a long time.
Red Dawn or Red Faction?
Or, I'm sorry, Red Faction.
Oh, okay.
This is probably, I don't know, Red something, right? But Red Faction. They've been around for like 30 years, but this story, and this is why like companies can't hide anything ever, because it was employees that went into work and were told, hey, there's no more job, and they immediately went onto Twitter and were like, hey, apparently Volition Studios is out of work. So I kind of did some digging on this to figure out like what happened here. So Embracer Group, which is a Swedish holding company. We'll talk about what a holding company is in a second. Bought Volition Games in 2018. Now, Embracer also was in the middle of a deal with a Saudi Arabian company. Well, I guess it was a Saudi Arabian funded organization called Savvy Games that was supposed to, I guess, really heavily invest into Embracer. But it was supposed to be a $2 billion deal. They pulled out. Now, Embracer apparently relocated to Saudi Arabia because they wanted to be close to that partnership, and then it didn't happen. So
they're stuck in Saudi Arabia with no partner.
Well, Embracer is stuck right now with no money because what happened was when the I don't want to say merger, but when the partnership didn't happen, their stocks just bottomed out, like hit and scraped along the ground. So what does that mean as a holding company? Well, do you know what a holding company is?
No.
Okay, so you're reading my notes?
I'm sure you're going to explore it. Yeah.
A holding company is a company that's in business to do nothing more than own other businesses. They hold the shares of companies.
Okay.
They don't create anything. They don't produce anything. They just own other companies. And they basically are just going around buying companies. So what happens when the parent company fails? The companies under them fail with them.
Yeah.
So part of what Embracer is doing is Embracer is restructuring the company because now obviously to stay viable, they have to trim off all of these things that they consider not making money for them. So that Volition Studios is one of them.
But they recently released a game.
With it too. Yeah, but I know a lot of people said the newest Saint Row sucked.
Oh,
but
okay.
I never played it, but
I haven't touched it.
I know Saints Row was a popular title growing up.
It was fun. I played 3 and 4.
Yeah, so to me it's like this is where I feel like some of these gaming studios or even indie companies or startups get kind of caught up in that when you see a big company come in and want to throw a bunch of money at you, in this case, only 5 years ago? 5 years ago, after 30 years of doing business, 5 years ago, they throw all this money at you and you're like, okay, you're now part of the family. Well, imagine if times got tough and your dad was like, all right, kids, you're all out of the house because I need to stay in the house. That's what they did, right? So that's why like holding companies, and this is kind of like it's sort of like the physical version of like the meme stocks. Remember, you have those companies that will do nothing but hedge funds. So hedge funds are where they will invest in a company when they're at their lowest, hedging that the company will do well and then make money off of it. Otherwise, if they do worse, then basically there's a whole big discussion about hedge funds. But it's kind of like holding companies are sort of like physically owning these companies, kind of like a hedge fund would, only they're real companies that they're having to be involved with, like as a true parent company, not an investor. So you get this company that comes in, throws a bunch of money at them, and then pulls the plug because they were just extremely poorly managed and made some really bad decisions. But I feel like this is a story we hear about all the time. What
was another company that shut down recently apart from Volition?
Recently? No. So I put on here that I was just like, what are some companies that have stopped making games that you can think of from your past? So for me, it was Sierra Entertainment. Now, Sierra Entertainment still exists technically. It's actually a part of Activision. But Sierra does not produce titles anymore. The last title they produced was in 2004.
So it's probably like SWAT 4 or something like that?
Yeah, there's a bunch of titles I played. So first of all, Frogger. Frogger was a Sierra Entertainment.
I played Tribes.
Oh, really? I never played Tribes. I heard like up through like Tribes 3 apparently was like really, really good.
Tribes 2 was awesome. Tribes, I think it's called Tribes Vengeance. Tribes 3.
Oh, okay.
Tribes 3 was Tribes Vengeance.
I didn't know Frogger was made by Sierra.
Neither did I.
But they went through a bunch of different names. They were Sierra Entertainment, Sierra Online, when like online became a thing.
What was that one company that did a bunch of online games? Oh, Battlestorm. I think that was the name. It was like a subscription-based thing, but you could play different multiplayer games.
Oh, interesting. King's Quest was a game I played from Sierra. DOS. That was a DOS-based game. You just shoot Larry, of course.
But of course.
Police Quest. There was a bunch of different Police Quests. I think it was like 1, 2, 3, and then there was SWAT. I liked Police Quest. And then my 2 favorite games ever from my childhood that I played the absolute crap out of, also DOS-based games, Aces over Europe and Aces over the Pacific.
I remember Over the Pacific. I didn't play it personally, though.
Pacific was actually the second one. Europe was the first one. And then, no, wait. I can't remember now. I think Pacific might have been first, and then Europe was second. I just remember dogfighting them Messerschmitts in my Spitfire. But yeah, no, I love that game. But it just got me thinking like, man, where's some gaming? Oh, the Pharaoh game, yeah. What are some games or companies that are no longer around?
Oh, Pandemic Studios. They made Mercenaries.
That would have been an ironically named company today.
Yeah. I think oh my gosh. Okay. So Pandemic did Mercenaries 2 and they did the original Battlefront 2, if I'm not the original Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Not the as we know it now, but like the back in the early 2000s Battlefront.
Yeah, the early one where like Galactic Conquest was a solid game.
Dude, there were so many Star Wars games that I loved back in the day. X-Wing versus TIE Fighter for space battles, absolutely one of my favorites back in the day. That's why I thought the new X-Wing game would feel more like that, but it really didn't. That game is very much on rails, which kind of sucks.
I like the VR part of it. Like
I could see VR helping because in a 2D screen I got lost a lot, like where I was
I
facing.
mean, I
and stuff.
still get lost in VR, but it's just fun to fly around in an X-Men or a TIE fighter
Yeah.
and hear all the noises.
Oh shoot! What was the first-person shooter Star Wars game where you were a stormtrooper?
Republic Commando.
No, it wasn't that one. There was another one.
And
I can't remember the name of it. Somebody in chat has to know. It was your first-person stormtrooper, and you could like level up your blaster and stuff. But I forget what it's called. But that game was fun.
Dark Alliance.
No, it's not that one.
Oh.
I can't remember. Knights of the Old Republic? No, that's the MMO.
Yeah, you mean okay? I mean, there's Jedi Outcasts and Jedi Academy.
Maybe it was Dark Forces. Did you say Dark Forces?
Yeah,
it might have been Dark Forces. Yeah, that's what
no,
people were
I said
saying.
Dark Alliance.
Oh yeah, Dark Forces. That's what it was.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Battlefront. This is really predates Battlefront. It was fun. The sound design was always good because I feel like they just used sounds from the movie.
Yeah,
But can you think of any game studios though that don't exist anymore that have made like noteworthy titles? Anything LucasArts? Is LucasArts still around though?
I thought they were.
I don't know. I'm gonna look now.
I'm not too sure because I mean, Lego did
when
Lego
I
Star
typed
Wars.
is LucasArts, the thing that autofills is LucasArts coming back? So I don't know.
Oh.
Let me see. I think LucasArts is gone. I think it was part of the acquisition stuff. So it's okay. So I'm gonna go to their Wikipedia. Do they have a death date?
Oh my god!
Well, they have a founded date, 1982. Holy crap, May 1st, 1982. Of a year after I was born. Number of employees 10 as of 2013. Really? That seems really low. Maybe it was much bigger than that at one point.
Because weren't they just like I mean, aren't they consultants at this point?
I don't know. Founder George Lucas. Okay, headquarters was San Francisco.
OTHQ, are they dead? That might. Yeah, THQ might be a dead company.
Yeah, I don't. Let's see. Adventure games. Okay, yeah. Simulation
Microprose.
games,
Oh,
first Star Wars
yeah,
game.
the sim.
Oh yeah,
sim titles.
Microprose. Yes.
Uh,
Papyrus was also another one. Papyrus was like very involved in like making NASCAR games and Formula One games and stuff like that.
oh, it's like early sim titles, or were
Yeah.
they a sim, or were they actually like just arcade style racing?
They were more simmy than arcade, but they were
Okay.
limited by the tech at the time, of course.
Yeah.
Trying to see if anything here about last year's. Last year's as part of an independent Lucasfilm. That was 2008. Well, it says Ward left the company in early February 2008 for personal reasons, but he was replaced by Howard Rothman as interim president. Acquisition by Disney. That's probably when LucasArts officially like wasn't a standalone studio anymore.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that it was during the acquisition that it kind of got dissolved a little bit as now Disney Studios.
Because
You still see the LucasArts logo though on some of the Disney Star Wars stuff.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're consulted with, at least in terms of keeping
I
the
don't
game
know.
somewhat accurate.
I think when Disney bought anything to do with Lucas, they were just like, we know better now.
I mean, because they got with that bounty hunting game that the trailers look pretty good.
Spoiler alert: in the next movie, Rey's going to be wearing Minnie Mouse ears. Ha ha.
Oh, jeez. When's the next Transformers movie coming? Because I'd rather watch that.
Oh my god, I haven't watched the Transformers movie past the second one. Mostly because I am like one of the biggest haters of Shia LaBeouf.
He's not in like the newer one.
I know, but
Oh.
I hated him so much I wouldn't give the franchise a chance past him.
Oh, I'm just in it for the giant robots.
I was like, okay, Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. I couldn't get past it. I don't like Megan Fox. I just couldn't get past it. So I was like, okay. Other than the fact that I had Camaros in it, you know.
Rare. Oh yeah, they made Perfect Dark. That was a good game on the N64.
Disney is kind of evil, is what someone said. I mean, duh.
I mean,
There's a reason why they're the
evil.
biggest company in the world. Because they're
had
the
to get
biggest
some
company
out.
in the world, taking into account the number of companies of which they own. Have you ever seen how many companies are owned by the Disney company? Okay. What companies does the Disney company... When I type what companies does, the Disney company automatically autofilled. So it's either listening or freaking a lot of people were looking this crap up.
You're asking too many questions about the mouse.
Okay, there's 7 companies owned by the Disney Corp. But the first one, 21st Century Fox.
Okay.
You know what's ironic about that? Is people, I don't want to get political, but people lump Disney in a very liberal sense. And anything Fox is usually the opposite of that.
True.
So that's interesting to me already. Capital Cities ABC, Pixar Animation, Lucasfilm, Marvel Entertainment, Fox Family Worldwide. Okay. BAMTech LLC. What is BAMTech? BAM. BAMTech. Disney Diversity and Inclusiveness Transparency. Apparently that's a company. Disney Diversity and Inclusiveness Transparency. I thought they owned way more than 7 companies.
It's a lifestyle clothing company.
Really?
Yeah. BAMTech Fitness Apparel.
Okay.
Made from bamboo. Oh, hence BAMTech.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
So it's about clean manufacturing of apparel. Because bamboo is a material that people can use.
Sustainable material.
It's sustainable, and you can make fabric out of it.
Yeah.
The thing is, I believe it also burns up really fast if you get near open flame. I remember reading a thing about bamboo it's not the greatest near really hot stuff. So
okay. Good to know.
Maybe not go to any bonfires wearing a bamboo shirt.
Or jump into automated cars.
Or just go into the desert in the summertime. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the FTFA section. This is from the freaking audience where you can write us your questions that you think would be interesting and short. I keep having to say this I don't know why I'm surprised by this. But anyway, this one comes to us from Vic. Oh, by the way, if you want to write us, it's rtfm@JayzTwoCents.com. And we take questions that we think are going to be interesting to add to the discussion, and we'll throw it in. So this one comes from Vic. He says, I really enjoy watching the channel and the RTFM show. You recently showcased a few new monitors on your channel. With your recent personal upgrade, any plans on upgrading your personal rig monitor or waiting for something to suit you better than your current widescreen? So there's another part which they ask you. I'll answer my section.
Yeah.
So I'm using the 38-inch LG 4K wide 1600p tall. So it's an ultra wide screen that's 4K wide but 16p tall. So it's bigger than a 2440 by or whatever the ultra wide is. I forget. Right.
Yeah. Like the 3440.
Yeah, 3440 by 1440. Like this is a 38-inch, so it's 4K wide, which makes the pixels look like 4K. It's just I don't have the 4K vert. So my resolution is very odd, which means when I put a 4090 in that system, there's a lot of pixels for it to push. But I haven't felt any need to change that monitor. It's FreeSync, but because the FPS is so freaking high with the 4090, I haven't had to turn it on because I'm not going above or below the FreeSync range anyway. The color saturation is great. There's nothing wrong with the monitor. It's a curved. It's like I think a 800R curve. I think I like curved panels, especially ultra wides. There just hasn't been anything else that's come out to replace it, as far as I'm concerned. Like if LG had that panel in OLED, I might consider it. But right now, the OLED is just it's a curved OLED, just like the Xeneon monitor, but it's 1440. And the 40-inch panel at 1440, the text is a little blocky.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want to downgrade pixel density, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
But I don't feel the need. It's IPS. I don't feel the need to have the. If I could get the exact same panel in OLED, I would do that. But okay. I don't want to give up anything for OLED, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So if you could just change it to a direct transfer to an OLED version.
Yeah. Because what I would gain is some better saturation. Honestly, I mean, I like my system only does gaming for the most part, so I like a bit saturated, punchy colors. Whereas our monitors here are all much more accurate. Yeah, for obvious reasons. But his question goes on to say, I was also wondering how Nick likes his Samsung, the one from the Micro Center shopping spree,
G9.
And what Phil has. I honestly don't know what Phil has, and he's not here, so I can't ask him.
We could text him.
Nah, it's his day off.
Well, yeah, I like the Samsung G9.
It's the G9 Odyssey.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, there's nothing I don't like.
But isn't it weird when you talk in front of it, you can hear the sound bouncing back
That's
at you?
the secret. I don't talk.
Okay, I guess if you're a man of few words. But you're in Discord and stuff with us. Is that only on your racing sim?
Yeah, it's only on my racing sim.
Oh, okay.
And even then I have a headset and I barely talk. Like even on the Le Mans race, I'm talking if I'm not driving.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the thing. Like, we had one of those big G9s, the higher end model one from the one that you have. I think it's the Neo or whatever, but or the Geo. I don't know what's called. It was the top.
Neo.
I think it's the Neo. But when he set it up, and I sat in front of it, and I went, "Hello." I was like, yeah, I don't like it sounding like it's in surround sound because The sound, obviously, with that 1000R curve, the Samsung's very curved.
Yeah.
You sound like you're in an echo chamber. That's my biggest problem with it.
So I haven't had gripes with it in that aspect. I have a headset, and it also sits slightly higher than it's further back, and it's tilted downwards in a sense to me. So I don't have that issue, that sound issue.
Well, if it's pointing at you and you're looking at it, it can still reverb the sound. But if it's farther away, then you would have it sitting on a desk, and that's going to help.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's on that monitor stand or whatever. And then my main one is it's an LG 34-inch IPS that does 160, 166.
Probably 165.
Yeah, but I have no gripes about that one either.
And that's the one you have the 3080 on?
No, that's the 2080 Ti.
You opted for putting the 3080 on your racing sim with the bigger panel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. 2080 Ti. Wow,
it does the job. It works.
I'm a terrible boss.
Why?
All right, moving on.
You're not terrible. I haven't complained about it. There's no need to upgrade it.
I don't know, man. If you don't have a 4090, are you really gaming?
Maybe I'm not gaming. Who knows?
I just feel like that's what people think. I think.
I don't think people understand.
Stop telling me how I feel.
Yeah, I'm fairly content with it. It hasn't dropped frames to the point of I want an upgrade. It works. And
somebody asked what mic arms we're using. These are the Frameworks GatorWorks arms. The Frameworks Gator arms.
Gator Frameworks.
No, Frameworks is the brand, and then Gator, Gator, Gator was the arm. Oh. We like it because they're very quiet, as you can hear. They don't. It doesn't transfer sound to the microphone. I mean, how many people in their live streams would be willing to do this with their microphone and they'll hear just a little bit of noise?
Like a thunk.
If I did this at home, it's terrible because the mic arm I have at home is the worst.
Oh.
Ironically, I have one of these in my closet. I've just been too lazy to hook it up, and it's been that way for 2 years.
I think that's the one that's sitting in the Amazon box right here, dude.
No, that was another one I bought to replace the one I brought home.
Oh my god. Well,
because I needed a spare. Okay,
you need a spare for something that barely gets moved around.
All right,
you set it once and leave it.
So no, at home I'm moving it around all the time.
Okay,
because I would do the guitar streams or I do the gaming stream. It's very different positions. But so Billy says, what's your guy's favorite typical Starbucks order?
It depends on the mood, honestly.
It depends on probably the season too.
Yeah, I mean,
right now I'm totally pumpkin spice.
I mean,
I had to do that in my Valley Girl accent.
Last year I was really into those apple crisp macchiatos.
I never even had one.
Oh, yeah.
Did it taste like an apple fritter?
A little bit, yeah.
See, the thing
apple
is,
pie.
The difference is my Starbucks drinks now, they have barely anything in. Hey, close my move ring.
Hey, congrats.
They have barely anything in them anymore. I just do iced oat milk lattes because I'm not allergic, but I'm lactose intolerant to cow milk. Or dairy.
Yeah.
But I just have them do for the pumpkin spice right now. I just had them do 2 pumps of the pumpkin spice. Normally they'll do 6 or more. I'm just dude, I don't want syrup for coffee.
I've been kicking the coffee off lately and just been doing straight matcha lattes or even the chai lattes.
Yeah, I kind of need to get off the coffee, but I don't want to.
I mean, I'm going to go back to it eventually. It's just a matter of time.
I just don't like feeling like I need coffee.
That's fair.
The problem is I can wean off coffee. I go through the withdrawals and the headaches and all the crap like anything else, and then I feel better. Because what I tend to do is when I'm going to kick coffee, I just start taking protein shakes in place of it, and that has made the headaches a lot less noticeable,
more tolerable.
I'm not getting the someone's police open up forehead kicking me, right? As if it's a door.
Get on the ground.
No, they're banging down the door. That's what it feels like in my head, okay?
Okay.
But the protein makes it so it's just kind of a light throb. It's not that big of a deal. But then what happens is you go, okay, I'm off coffee now. I'm just going to give myself a little treat today. And then in 3 weeks, you're I'm having 9 today, because it's like anything else.
Back up to 300
it's the
milligrams of
dopamine.
caffeine.
It becomes dopamine at that point,
Yeah.
Coffee's better than Monster drinks? Yeah, I know. And we used to drink Monster all the time. We barely have them anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unhealthy habits that we've gotten better at.
Hence the tea.
But no, typically my coffee of choice would just be just espresso and oat milk. That's it. Nothing in it. I like PSL. I like the pumpkin spice flavor. And it's funny because I hate pumpkin, but I like the PSL flavor. That's why I had them just do a little bit in there. That's it.
I think I mean,
I don't even have them do the whipped cream or any of that.
okay. Yeah, I mean, if I'm out like in OC or something, I'd try the fancy coffees, like the Vietnamese coffee with like the egg cream or something on top of it, like the egg foam. You haven't had that before?
I don't do any of the foam. Look, I think the type of like,
I'm just thinking.
I think the type of ADHD / sensory person I am, I don't like foamy things. Like literally. So
like literally.
No, I'm only learning about this stuff because as my kids are going through like their ADHD therapies and stuff, I'm learning about like, oh yeah, I got that, right?
Hey.
Only they're kids and they're getting a head start on it, and I'm like, I'm 42 and I'm stupid, you know? I'm not saying ADHD makes you stupid. I'm saying I'm stupid. But anyway.
I've seen enough ADHD memes to scare myself into thinking maybe I'm autistic. Like,
it's possible.
I know.
Because
like,
the thing is, the more we learn about autism, the more we learn about like back. So when I know I just went totally off the rails from where I was in my conversation, but when I was in school, like as a kid, and by kid, I mean like elementary school, 5th grade, 6th grade, going into middle school, they would have kids that seemed off in terms of learning, like tested. And typically all they tested was like for dyslexia and maybe some other learning disabilities. But like autism wasn't really a thing that people knew or understood very much.
Yeah.
As I got older, like high school age, the only thing they really knew about autism at that time was the severe, low functioning, can't communicate type of autism. Like that was autism. That was it. There was no spectrum to it. It was just, oh, you're expressively disabled. You're autistic, which as we know today, that's very wrong. There are so many
kinds.
That's why it's a spectrum, right? Yeah. It's like almost like an infinite number of possibilities of how autism can manifest itself. Yeah. But I think I feel like brilliance itself, like true human brilliance, is fueled by autism or ADHD or hyperactivity. Like, I feel like these are no longer disabilities. They're actual superpowers and talents that people are learning to function with, which unlocks more capabilities that maybe people never even knew about. Because I think if you drill down to the imperfections of the human brain, every single human is either autistic or ADHD or some sensory disorder or something.
Oh, when you factor it out.
Because all you're doing is naming the imperfections in our bodies and in our brains.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like that's something that as people learn to deal with, and rather than just, okay, this person is autistic, let's put them in a special needs class. Because my daughter, one of the things that I think is awesome, her classes, every class she's had from like 2nd grade and up, has always had an inclusive, like if there's a student that has moved to the school and is of age, like the same age as that class, and that's the grade they're in, the autistic student is in class with the rest of the class. They are not in a...
They're included.
They're not in a separate special needs class.
Yeah.
They are, and the differences that you would see at the beginning of the year versus the end of the year, and like the progress that these students make, it's kind of insane to say, wow, you know, when I was a kid, they were just like, they're in a special room all by themselves, different lunch, different play period, different everything. Oh, like why segregate it?
Or they get like they get to leave class for the extra class on the side or whatever, and come back right before lunch or something like that.
The usually the only people I saw with that are people that had diagnosed ADD. And it wasn't ADHD yet, it was just ADD, or maybe like ESL, English second language.
Oh, okay. Because I remember elementary, there was one for speech. I did that a little bit too.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think it's just as we grow and we learn more about the human brain, I think the human brain's imperfections are just having names now. So if you look at it that way, everyone has a name to their imperfection.
It's like the map's being discovered and then the points on the map are getting named now.
I think it's enlightening for a lot of people to have that validation of like, okay, I've been dealing with this my whole life. It has a name. But I feel like sometimes people get a little too caught up in letting that define them. If that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Because sometimes people will look at a diagnosis as a definition of who they are. And although a diagnosis of whatever disability or medical condition you might be dealing with absolutely influences and impacts your quality of life in your daily life, I feel like if we start to use that as the definition of who we are, then that's just a depressing state to be in. if that makes sense. Like for instance, imagine you're 32. Imagine you went and truly got tested, and they're like, "Congratulations, Nicholas, you have ADHD with XYZ disorder." ADHD always is accompanied with something.
Yeah.
It's never just you have ADHD.
There's always
There's always a sub-component to it.
yeah, character rolling.
Yeah. You can choose to be like, "Oh, I have that."
It's like,
Or, "Wow, I have that."
yeah.
Because guess what? Nothing changed. Nothing changed for you.
Yeah, it's still gonna be the same.
You might get a little bit more clarity and understanding how to battle through moments where that gets in your way, which is exactly what I'm dealing with. Like, I think people have noticed over the last year or so, it's like someone just said I'm offensive and minimizing. No, I think you're choosing to hear it in an offensive and minimizing way, which is your own slant that you're putting on it. But anyway, I digress. We're having real conversation here, not looking for reasons to be offended. The thing is, like, now that I'm 42 and over the last year or so, I've really started sort of drilling down and going through the testing and the therapies and stuff to figure out, like, what is it about what I always considered to be things that hold me back, that I always just assumed were ADHD or whatever, but to have some validation to say, hey, this is what it is. It's no longer like bothered me now that I know. Like, I used to be bothered by the idea of not knowing and then wondering, but now that I know, it's like, okay, cool. It's got a name, it's real, and we just move forward with that.
You know how to work around it too, because I mean, at least it's identified in that sense. You're not throwing parts at it per se. Like, you're not throwing a catalog of ideas. Versus,
right. You can start focusing on ideas that are proven to work.
Yeah.
Now that's up to whatever type of therapy or I see. The thing is, like, therapy is a very large, encompassing word. There's a lot of different ways a person can receive therapy. So it depends on which one. Like, if there's proven ones to help you focus, right? If you have ADHD and you can't focus, because right, you can hyper focus.
Yeah.
Which you've talked about a million times. You can get stuck on something and you can't get off of it.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, that would have been like, there's no way you have ADHD because you can focus on stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, but that's also ADHD. But you would at least start being able to discover tools on how to
break it.
No,
or not.
How to just go along with it.
Yeah.
I think that trying to cure it or break it, like you're saying, might be the wrong approach. Because I don't think you can necessarily break that habit of hyper focusing and stuff. I think you just learn how to embrace it
or
and use it.
Collaborate with it. Yeah.
That's why I was saying earlier, I feel like it could be a strength.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it can. You just have to know exactly what it is that triggers it or whatever. This is beyond my area of expertise.
Well, I think that's beyond a lot of people's area of expertise, even those that know.
I'm just putting it out there so it's not used against me later.
So this next one comes from Matt. It says, would you guys ever try to design and 3D print a custom SFF case for a video? I know you haven't done an extreme SFF build in a while, but I thought it would be a cool concept.
Is it the super small form factor?
SFF is just small form factor.
Oh, okay.
So like the Expanse build is SFF. Technically, the PC right here on the racing rig would also be considered an SFF. There's no like true standard of like, okay, it's got to be this many liters or under to be an SFF.
I mean, I'd be more interested to do it, but I'd want to try and change up materials apart from just PLA.
It can't be PLA.
Yeah, I'd want to try like nylon, even though, or the carbon stuff, but I know carbon's conductive
and abrasive.
Yeah.
You talk about nozzle wear by the time you print a case.
There's some dope nozzles out there now. So
okay. Because wasn't that one of the biggest issues with graphite and metal and all that stuff with those infused filaments?
The nylon stuff.
Like they were just grinding the nozzle away.
Yeah. But I mean, back then, from when I've spoken with Jetman, they used to have like ruby tips. I actually have one. I just haven't been brave enough to put it on my printer.
Sounds expensive.
It's like, I think it was like $100 or something back
but it's
then.
Made with real rubies.
Just the tip, the hot end of the tip is a ruby tip, so it doesn't take it doesn't get worn out as much from the material. And recently, I came across a diamond tip.
Yeah. Oh yeah, diamond tip makes sense. I mean, diamond cuts glass. I can imagine a diamond tip obviously withstanding the wear and tear of an abrasive filament.
That'd be cool. And I know Dustin keeps yelling at me to change my my filament habits because I get like the most abrasives. I really like a glow in the dark PLA, but the glow in the dark material is abrasive to the nozzle. and I have a full metal hot end right now, but it's only a matter of time until it's like, okay, I should probably just up the nozzle type if I want to keep printing it.
We would obviously need a much bigger print bed than what we currently have. I mean, the Lulzbot could probably work for some of the bigger, rougher, don't have to be like super pretty type of parts. But the Prusa,
is amazing.
It's amazing, but it's so small.
It's so small. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm working on getting us an XL, but still, the XL print bed should be about the size of the Ender 5 there.
That'd be dope.
Which would be nice. But I want one that's like
multi-head extruder.
But I want one that's like the size of this table. That's what I want. I mean, not just single printing a big case.
Have you seen the videos of the people doing a DIY one and they like print a whole chair?
Yeah. Have you seen those videos of the big cement printers printing a building?
House, yeah.
I want one of those. It's good. Cool. Think big, man.
I'm cool with like the...
It's in the parking lot. I printed a house. Yeah, but where are we going to park? I don't care. I printed a house.
Well,
all right, who's going to live in it?
I want to know what printers... There's a company out here in SoCal, but they actually make a concept for a design on like an automotive aero. Like they print out a bumper, and then they make that bumper the mold for actually producing the bumper to mount into the car. And I know a couple SEMA builds also use the 3D printer to like make their bumpers, like to actually change their car up with 3D printed parts. I thought that was pretty cool.
All right. I put this one as anonymous. I didn't put his name on there only because of the first part of the question. So the first one is probably not the right question, but how would you move on from a 20-year relationship? Honestly, struggling a bit, but your content is a great distraction. I feel kind of bad because the profile photo also was them and a child, so there's probably a child involved in this breakup. Gosh, I don't know. I feel like really lean in on your child's life if that is your child. Like let that be your focus.
Priority, yeah.
Yeah, like because the child seemed pretty young. I'd say 5 or under. But I don't think you're ever going to move on 100% from a 20-year relationship. I think you're going to carry a lot of that relationship and whatever trauma you're carrying from that relationship with you. Distractions, honestly, hobbies, it's probably going to be a very different situation. But it's going to be kind of like when my dad died. I had to find ways to like, okay, this is what life looks like without my dad. And then be like, how can I move forward and not get stuck in the cycle or the loop of mourning? Because at that point, he's mourning a relationship, which is a connection nonetheless. So that would be my biggest suggestion. If the child in the photo is yours, lean into that child as much as possible, as much as you're allowed. I don't know what the custody situation would be at this point, but try and be involved if you're allowed to be involved, et cetera, et cetera. At the very least, dive into your hobbies and dive into your friends. Like surround yourself with as much positivity as possible. Next question, which I thought was quite contrast. When did you turn gray? And how freaked out did it make you? He says,
I'm pretty sure this is directed to you.
He said, I'm 1 year younger than you, but I've only just begun to turn. And I like how he said turn, like he's turning into a zombie.
Hey, that's cool, dude.
Thanks, anonymous. Anyway, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Again, your hair color doesn't define you. I mean, people might think you're older than you are, but I was never bothered by my gray hair. It sounds like obviously you're bothered by it because you've had whatever, I think black hair or brown hair in the photo, but you've had this pigment to your hair all your life, and now suddenly you're realizing, that pigment's starting to fade. I have been turning gray since I was 13. And by the time I was 25, all the sides of my hair were gray. And so I just I was just so used to it. It never bothered me. And it's funny because there's 2 low-hanging fruits people would use to try and get to me. My weight or my hair color. And neither of them bothered me. Like the weight, I can do something about that. Right now I just really like food, right? Yeah. The hair, I've dyed my hair before just out of curiosity. Like, what do I look like if I dyed my hair? You remember when I shaved my beard and I dyed my hair? We went to that Nissan event and you were like, you look like Jay's kid. Like you look like if Jay had a son. Because I shaved off
first of his kind, last of his name.
Yeah, you guys were sitting there like freaking Game of Thrones naming me the entire day. But I remember I looked at you at one point. I was just standing there and you're like, dude, stop looking at me.
You look weird.
Because I had dark brown hair and no beard.
It was like this is Jay, but it's not Jay.
You're like,
my Google second.
It's Jay's illegitimate son.
My Google security is going off.
It's like when you try to make yourself in a character select, but it's not close enough, and they don't have a proper facial hair or hair option.
I think The Witcher made white hair cool because.
Yeah, but I don't have white hair. I have silver hair.
Silver hair, whatever. It looks cool. Like just run with it. I think you'll be fine.
The only thing here's the thing that bothers me about gray hair though, and the more gray I get. Anyone in chat that has gray hair knows gray hair is stiffer than pigmented hair. So my hair used to be curly. I used to have curly hair, like really wavy hair.
I remember the photo.
Yes, but now my hair is like bing, like straight out, and I look like freaking, Doc from Back to the Future stuck his fork in a light socket. That's what it looked like in the morning. And the thing is, like, the amount of like trying to get it to do anything. That's why I have to use like hair gel, because I'm sorry, there's no way I can control this head of hair. That's one of the reasons why I keep it short, because it's really stiff and wiry, which sort of sucks. But
I get a couple white hairs, but I only get to see them when I grow out my hair. Otherwise, it's too short to notice.
When the top of my head started going gray, it was right in the middle. Actually, it was just off to the side, but it had like this patch. It looked like a racing stripe. I used to call it my skunk stripe, because I have photos and I look back and I'm like, oh, look, you can see the skunk stripe forming. So like the sides first and then went down the middle and then went boom, then it met. The only place like on my head that I still have like brown hair is right here. Right here. My chin is all gray now.
Your mustache is
a little bit. It's like half and half now. But I remember I had
75%.
I remember when I had like 3 gray hairs right here in my chin when I was probably like 28. I was like, damn it. Bink, bink, bink. And my mom was always like, everyone you picked, there's going to be 2 more that come in this place. I'm like, no, it won't.
Behold.
And then on the sides, I have some gray speckled in. But eventually, I think I'll probably ditch the beard when it's all gray. Because at that point, I feel like I'll look way older than I actually am. But
how about a goatee?
I have pictures of me having a goatee. I just look like a dick.
I don't remember you having a goatee.
Because I got rid of it before you and I ever really became friends. Trust me.
That's probably why we're friends.
I look like Jay the douchebag goes to White Castle. I had a goatee, the full on, and then it even grew down here for a while, like down the neck.
Oh, like the Viking goatee?
Yeah. No, not hanging, like the neck beard.
The
part
neck
of it.
beard. Oh. Yeah.
So it used to, and then for a while there, I shaved the sides and the mustache. So I just had the patch of hair on my chin, because I was really big in like the early 2000s, right?
The elongated soul patch.
I look back now and I'm like, God, Jay, you're just such a douchebag. So, anyway, it was like a reverse soul patch. I didn't even have this right here, just down here.
We were inverted.
Speaking of inverted, we have to invert the start of the show to the end of the show. That was the best segue ever.
That was pretty good.
So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with today's show. Phil will be back next week, so it was oddly quiet on this one.
No?
This was an oddly quiet show.
I got to talk.
You did get to talk. You did get to talk. It's just there was no laugh track.
I didn't have to hold a talking stick. I just got to talk.
The talking tape.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Like I said, if you want to email us and maybe get your question put into the show, if you think it'll be interesting topic to talk about, hit us up at the RTFM not the RTFM, but RTFM at JayzTwoCents.com. Check out the merch store too. Keep your eyes peeled. The melting connector logo design is sick. You can see it up on the community tab, and then you're going to want to get your own, because when they're gone, they're gone. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.